Alright, hello guys, this is Demon coming back for another round of Final Fantasy XIV. So, if any of you remember, we ended the last episode, finally getting an agreement with Lord Hien and Sai to finally do a prison exchange. We also learned bad things. Sai is a disciple of Lord Zenos, and more importantly, Lord Zenos yet lives. We assumed he was dead. They said they buried him, but he's still alive. Question is, how the hell is that humanly possible? So let's go ahead and talk to Alphino since we're here at the Ruby Bazaars. Needing impeccable timing, we have just received a letter from Lord Hien. He writes the Domans are coordinating their efforts with the Blue Kojin to maintain a constant watch over the Red. By staying on the lookout for sign of crystal hoarding and the like, they mean to nip any summoning attempts in the bud, thereby satisfying the conditions for peace set down by the ambassador. For the Garlean's part, the Populares have sent word that a vessel bearing Dome and conscript would soon arrive in Yorkshire. It would seem that the prisoner exchange is to proceed as planned. Lord Hien has requested your presence, and I share his view that you should be at hand at this critical juncture. According to the letter, Yotsu's memory is yet to return, so it looks like she'll be living out the rest of her days in Doma, assuming the ambassador means to honor the agreement, of course. Before we get to that, however, I think it would be wise to assess her condition one last time. If the Domans have missed any change in her mental state, however slight, it would be better if Sayu weren't the one to spot it. Agreed. Let's make straightaways for the Enclave, then Lord Hien will be waiting. I trust you will cope in our absence, Tataru. Don't worry about me, I will be fine. Just be sure to come back safely. You know, one thing I did notice is the fact that Tataru didn't have us do anything. No's been keeping a very careful count of his coins lately. I doubt he'd ask for a sip of water without asking the price first. Oh god. Very much favorite piece of grip for doing Doma and the Empire. Loosen that Imperial grip, I say. Let the trade routes breathe freely. That's no good. That no good. I don't like free trade. I believe in protectionism. Oh, how I hate it. Yeah, I love free trade. Makes everything acceptable. Can't really say it makes things. I mean, it can't make things cheap. I mean, it makes things cheap. That person is still sitting there. What in the possible hell are they doing? I will say this much: if there's one thing I do hate now is the fact we have a flag outside my window, and the fact that every time that flag flaps, it hits the damn screen sometimes and just makes noises. Ever since he drained our coffers dry buying that sword, Alphino has had his purse strings in a death grip. Can't even buy a cup of tea without him going on about the dangerous, frivolous spending. Alphino, really? I know the broad strokes from his letter, but I would hear the details of our Doman friend's progress from Lord Hien himself. All I hear is Alphino has spent a lot of money on something, which is probably more of a large sum than we're thinking. And when Dummy bought it, now he's being pretty damn hardy with his coin. It's fun. It's fun. I see my letter reached you across the Ruby Sea. Thank you for coming so swiftly. Now, I wrote at some length on the subject of the forthcoming exchange. There was one other matter I neglected to mention. Concerns Kuzetsu. As you may have observed, he returned from his ordeal rather worse for wear, and despite his best efforts to conceal his condition, or perhaps because of them, he recently collapsed. Good God, is he alright? Confined to bed and grumbling without cease. But he has shown signs of recovery. He made me promise not to tell you, lest you worry unduly. Which was all very well when you weren't there. Now you are. However, I think it's time you receive some visitors. Might you spare him a moment? Yotsuyu has scarce left his side, and I imagine you are curious to see what has become of her as well. We will visit him at once. Hydaelyn, Eorzeea, shall we? Yes. Let's go see our friend. I'm slightly concerned. Why are they showing us inside?
Open wide now.
Please to you. I'm not so frail that I cannot feed myself.
I like the fact that he immediately just goes, "Oh crap."
I grow weary of the taste of gruel.
You don't like it? Can I fetch you something else?
Aye, wine. Or if that is not wholesome enough, I don't know. A sweet persimmon from Namai? I enjoyed them in my youth.
A persimmon.
Nay, pay me no mind. I am full. Besides, we have guests.
I hope we are not interrupting your meal. We had heard you were confined to bed and thought you might welcome some visitors.
Confined to... a gross exaggeration. A trifle drained from my exertions, perhaps, but with a little rest, I shall be fighting fit again in no time.
Take off your clothes.
Gosetsu, is this how you've been spending your time?
My lady, I assure you this is not.
Off with them. We need to wash you. You stink.
How much?
What are all these scars? There are so many of them.
A life of battle will leave its mark upon a man.
She's having memories.
Is something wrong, Tsuyu?
It's nothing. I'm fine.
But leave me be, woman. I will not be fussed over like some newborn babe.
They make a good pair, do they not? On first acquaintance, I would think him a doting grandsire and her a model grandchild. Indeed, had someone told me a year ago that I would live to bear witness to such a scene, I would have declared them mad. That aside, I am relieved to see Gosetsu has not lost any of his spirit. But what an event. I mean, for her to suddenly be watching over him. Couldn't make it up, although I suppose Gosetsu is an old man. The way he charges through life, it can be easy to forget. He has resisted decrepitude with the same defiance he showed the enemies of Doma. But no matter how adamant his will, no man can carry on forever. He has pushed himself beyond the limits of endurance too many times. Even if his health returns, the fact remains, he will never again be the warrior he once was. He has given it his all for liege and land, and we will ask no more. And one of his nurse, if Yozetsu is feigning that, well, she certainly has me fooled. This is no pretense. You agree? Out of all of us, I would think the hardest to convince, so what makes you so sure? I've been spying on you two from the shadows, waiting for the misstep that would betray her charade from what it was. But her mask has never slipped, not once. She has remained in character from the first one evening I watched her as she sat in her chambers, unguarded and alone. She had taken the dishes from the cupboard and was pretending to prepare dinner right there on the tatami, a child's game. Even a wary shinobi would not go to such lengths. I can but conclude that her mind is truly broken. Well, that's good enough for me, and everyone else I would hazard. The matter is settled. Yotsu will come to you and begin a new life here in Doma. Before that can happen, however, we need to present her to the ambassador one last time, to prove that her memory is truly gone. But I would not risk parading her in front of our returning conscripts. Her presence at the exchange would only stir up mutinous thoughts. Understandably, she is as good as fasten the chains around her necks. Aye, which is why I mean to conclude this business with Tsuyu first, out of the sight of my countrymen. Will you help me? We are at your service. There is no higher purpose than the pursuit of peace. Thanks. The Garleans are on their way, and we must prepare to welcome the ambassador. We will meet you at the docks with Tsuyu. Skiff will take us to our meeting with the ambassador. Will you join at the docks once preparation has been made? Not to waste failance, it was difficult for me to accept that Yotsuyu's condition was genuine, but not as difficult as accepting Gozetsu's affection for her. Yes. Yeah, you figure Gozetsu's dealt with a lot of stuff. Old man, I mean... Oh my god, look at that cat. Thick. It's like a freaking behemoth. I've only seen one cat that can rival that cat's weight. That's a family friend's cat. When they went on like to Vegas or something, we went to their house to go feed them, and all you see is like female cat. Like, it's some weight to it, a little chubby, but nothing much. It's like you expect it. It's a house cat. And then you see the other one at the top of the stairs. It comes in for you. It's like the size of a freaking... Like, it's like... I'm trying to think of a description to describe it. It's like, imagine getting like a... Imagine like getting a 2x4 and stacking it 10 times. That's how big this bitch was. Can you imagine you two playing with the bowls on the floor? I don't know what we can think of her as the same person anymore. That'd be hilarious. Shall we wait here then? Lord Hien should not be long. Actually, better yet, I probably could shove... That cat probably would fit my freaking computer case. That's how big it was. That thing was huge. Friends have seen Tsuyu. She's nowhere to be found. What? But the Garleans will be landing in a matter of moments. She's fled. Could it mean her memories have returned? I know not. You agree scouring the streets as we should, but it's possible Tsuyu has left the Enclave altogether. My shoulders. They bleed. Captain, a word. Did you perhaps carry a fair-skinned woman across the river? Fair-skinned woman, Ron? I do not rightly know. I think, yes, I did take somebody of it. Her face was hidden by the brim of her hat, but I remember taking her hand to help her onto the boat. Why does new fallen snow it was? Was she so unimportant, my lord? Have I done something wrong? Wrong? No, I'm merely hoping to catch our guest before she departed. Be at ease, Captain. I also skipped what he said. I love pressing the clickies. It would seem that Tsuyu has crossed the river. Kami help me, no good can come of this. That's what you think. There's a lot of good. That's you. I cannot see how the prison exchange would, or indeed the peace process at large, can proceed. We have to find her in soon. Memory must have returned. Why else would she run? Seeing Tsuyu has gone unrecognized thus far, but Kami help us if someone catches a clear view of her face. I must find her before that happens. The responsibility for her disappearance for all of this lies with me, but I would ask for your aid nonetheless. We are at your service, Lord Hien. Now as before, let's make the crossing and begin our search. Go on ahead. Someone should let Yugiri know that what we've learned. I'll join you on the other side. No way of knowing where Tsuyu is headed, so we had best divide our forces. I'll take Kusakari and its surrounds. Alphino, if you would take the road to Castrum Fluminis. Adi, forgive me, but I could ask you to interrogate the residents of Yuzaka Mana. One of the Namazu may well be seeing our quarry. If everyone is in agreement, let's board the skiff and hope the Kami smile upon our efforts. I said board the skiff, but they are already gone. Oh, I do pop up in Yankcha. Good. I was gonna say I was gonna be slightly disappointed if I have to sit there and deal with that. They run off. I go talk to Captain. Captain take me across. Then I go. I will say this. I love the mist, the fog, and everything. That's a nice little touch. Come on, Kiko, let's do this. Oh yeah, I forgot I changed Kiko's name at one time because I thought it'd be funny. Welcome to user command. Yes, yes. There's anything you need to know. You need only pale-skinned woman. I have seen no such travel. I'm sorry to say, but most scaly-skinned Namazu on the other hand, we have an abundance. Damn straight you do. Why is he passed out? Unusually pale skin. Yes, yes. I saw this woman on the way back from my fishing trip. She had crossed the shallow sea east of here and was headed in a northeasterly direction. For the most part, her steps did not seem certain. If you hurry, you might still catch her. What the hell happened to this poor bastard? Why is that person passed out on the ground? What did you do? I heard of this one? It's Kingfish? Research within these walls? No, no, the Namazu here are civilized. We never had attack, man. These guys are weird. One of their buddies are literally having a seizure on the floor and nobody's worried about him. Kind of funny though. Did I say funny? I mean disappointing. Kind of funny. Alrighty. Alright, now to go run in the water and go have the fun. So it says the next stage is up here. I think we're on there. Oh, I bet I know where she's going. It's like I've played this before. But on the other hand, you get a small hint, I guess. It's not a big hint. Survey the area. See no signs of Eorzea to the north. Perhaps she is somewhere farther to the northeast. Alright, is there a place to run across here? There is. Alright, I'll let this thing. I thought maybe I would have to swim across, and I was getting ready to do the swim, so I was going to keep sprint available. Hey, that one bird thingy ain't here getting its ass kicked again. I think we'll ever use it. That is a weird ass water serpent. Why you got a big ass tail? Jesus. The hell? What was I stuck on? I gotta run fast. Gotta run fast. Kusakai. Which one of those two said they were going here? Was that Lord Hien? I'm trying to remember actually. I actually don't remember who was supposed to be here. Let's see. See no sign of you? Yes, she is further to the northeast. Further northeast, traveling on the road, travel on the road. Dun, 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 dun. Alright, let's see if we can find her. Oh, this is a long survey. Long surveys mean new area being loaded in. If there isn't, I'll be pissed. It says that would be safely lying on the ground a short distance to the north. You spy a familiar looking wide-brimmed hat. Oh no. Oh no, no, she's going to Namai. She's going to Namai. Bad things going to occur. Bad things. Very, very bad things. Because a glance all across confirm your suspicion is the same hat Yotsu was wearing when you found her in Sakazuki. That is not good. Hydaelyn, before you ask, our search of Kusakari and its surrounding has yielded exactly naught, save this chattering with you, I suppose. Mistress Eorzea has gone to assist her brother at the castrum. It was she who informed me of the situation. I joined Lord Hien here shortly thereafter. How did you fare? You use a manor? Any sign of our missing guest? Yes. Towards Namai. By the Kami, if the villagers recognize you, it will not end well. We must hurry. You agree and I will check the patties. The village square is yours. Oh no.
Greetings. Might I have one of your... Wait! Please! I only wanted a persimmon.
Kami, save us! Her spirit has returned!
She's back from the dead to seek her revenge!
Jesus. It's not going to end well. Lord Hen, you might want to get involved. How you want to get going?
It can't be. She couldn't have survived.
What did I do?
As if you don't know!
Good people of Namai, be at ease, I pray you. You have naught to fear.
My lord, forgive me, but what is that monster doing here? They told us she was dead.
I too was surprised to learn of her survival. More even than you, I would hazard. 'Twas I who cut her down, I who left her to her fate. But it would seem the Kami had other plans. By some miracle, both she and Gosetsu were spared when the keep collapsed, though Yotsuyu's preservation came at the cost of her memory.
You're saying she's forgotten? Forgotten everything she's done?
Lies! Lies! My lord, she would say anything to escape punishment!
What does it matter? We have not forgotten her crimes, and we demand justice! I beg of you, Lord Hien, draw your blade and rid us of this canker!
What I saw then. It's all true. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's it, dude.
You're sorry? And what? We're supposed to forgive you?
Oh no.
Here, there's no need to cry. Can't you see how scared she is? How can you be scared of her? She's not the same.
Until such time as her memories return, this woman shall be known as Tsuyu, and treated as a citizen of Doma. I will, however, see that she is watched at all times. rest assured that there will be no more unannounced visits to the village. As your lord, I ask that you leave her fate in my hands and suffer her to live, for now.
Please, Issei.
All right. I'll keep my peace. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters.
Well now. Everybody's come to an understanding. That's so good. We didn't have a riot on our hands. I say that with the full-blown confidence of a smartass. Actually, wait a minute. Now that I think about this, this episode ain't coming out for probably another month. Or two. Good. Good. That means this doesn't matter anymore. Okay. Okay, I just seen that person. Did they just spawn that in, or did they fall from the sky? Because I just looked to my right and I just see something fall. It's like I'm playing Cyberpunk. Can't forget what that woman did to us, but I won't do anything to upset Azami. I'm not scared of her. Not anymore. That's because you see her in her weakened state. She doesn't know anything. All this over a Persimmon. Failed to consider how she might endanger herself. No, she has the mind of a child. I should continue my village, not relax it. I don't know why everyone's so angry, but I got the fruit Guzetsu wanted. I hope he likes it. That would have been better avoided, but at least it did not end in bloodshed. Judged by Suyu's reaction, she remains oblivious to the events of her former life. This was no escape attempt. Nay, it seems she was off. It was an offhand request of Guzetsu's, which brought her to Namai. She came in search of Persimmon. And they say fruit is for good health. I do hope Guzetsu finds the taste to his liking. We've certainly taken a long way around. Let us continue on to Castrum Flaminus and our meeting with the ambassador. Alphino and Alizea should still be there conducting their search. I mean, they can't sit there and say she didn't have any memories. I mean, like, they're like, oh, there wasn't much of a reaction. I mean, she kind of had a reaction to some of those memories. Because you sit there and see her say, oh, so those really were real. That actually happened. So she is having lapses to those memories. But I don't think the Yotsuyu of old has come back yet. I think Suyu is still there. I guess you can just say that personality hasn't had time to cement itself. It's getting the foundation back, but it isn't exactly there yet. It needs a bigger hit, a bigger jump to get to that stage it needs to be in. Until then, it's kind of going to remain the same. I really wish they rebuilt this goddamn bridge. You know how convenient that damn thing would be? Any idea? Any idea how convenient having access to that stupid bridge would be? Beautiful. So beautiful. Huge. Alright, time to sprint. Now let's go see what our boys are doing. We'll speak with Hien, Gupu Yugiri, Alphino, Alizé, and I pray the almighty gods that somehow, by the miracle of Grayskull, that we all don't end up dying. I can't run between that. Oh. I had hope. I had dreams. But Jesus bitch slapped me. Do we have to stay here long? He'll be waiting for his fruit. Sure, Yotsuyu had fled, but it seems her memory hasn't returned after all. How foolish of me not to consider Guzetsu's craving for seasonal fruit. While you had forced the uproar at Nama, I think the 12 you found Yotsuyu when you did. I dare not think what might have happened had you not. Your ship is right. Whether our conscripts are aboard remains to be seen. Seems our imperial guests have already arrived. It's time to meet with the ambassador. Bad thing is going to happen. Jesus is angry.
What a pleasure it is to see you once more, Lord Hien. Not to mention my dear sister.
A pleasure to see you too, Ambassador. Forgive us our late arrival. You have our people aboard the airship?
Exactly as agreed. We would leave you in no doubt as to the purity of our intentions. I dare say it was the self-same spirit of cooperation which prompted you to bring Yotsuyu here today.
Indeed. Before excluding her from the exchange, I thought it only fair that you see her condition for yourself. Physically, she is in fine health, but her mind is unchanged.
So I see. But all need not necessarily be lost. In anticipation of this tragic turn of events, I took the liberty of inviting some special guests.
Oh no. What kind of special guests? Are they new friends? Oh, what is it? Oh no.
Ah, Yotsuyu. You look well.
Of all the people.
Is something wrong, dear sister? These are our beloved parents. Does not the sight of them bring back sweet childhood memories?
1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that, guys. I had a call from my dentist. So I had to confirm an appointment. There we go. Let's start it up. Looks rather angry.
Gosetsu. I have to take this to Gosetsu.
It would seem my little surprise was not sufficient. You needn't glare at me so, Lord Hien. I merely did what any loving son would do for his family. Lest you doubt, I am content to leave the acting viceroy in your care. Pray, treat her as you would any daughter of Dorma. Do not grow too fond of this place, dear sister. You will come back to us ere long.
We continue with the exchange as planned, then.
Very good. The structure across the river should serve our needs. We shall await you there with the conscripts. If you would bring your captives.
Agreed. Until then, Ambassador.
I knew better than to trust Asahi, but that was a dirty trick. So unpleasant as it was, we have at least put the matter of Tsuyu's future to rest. I have sent her back to the Enclave at Yugiri to give Gosetsu his precious Persimmon. Come, let us follow them. Maybe have a look out for now. What is it? No, nothing of consequence, most like. We can discuss it upon our return. So it would seem there will be one less prisoner at the exchange. I only hope Yotsu's presence here will not further complicate matters. I suppose Tsuyu is to become an official Doman citizen, but what then? Will they keep her hidden in here forever? Or she might one day be allowed to walk amongst her countrymen? Never know. If Japan visits Gosetsu and reassures Tsuyu's fate, he will want to know that the Empire has relinquished claim on her.
Gosetsu, are you awake?
My lord, come in, come in. When Tsuyu returned, her eyes were red from weeping. She spoke not a word, simply sat and peeled some fruit she'd brought for me. She then claimed weariness and retired to her chamber. Tell me, what happened to upset her so?
The ambassador arranged a surprise reunion with her foster parents. A misguided attempt to restore Yotsuyu to her senses. It was plain their presence caused her great distress, but she seemed otherwise unaffected.
Yotsuyu was mistreated as a child, was she not? It was a cruel trick to use her tormentors like that, knowing the pain it could cause.
I like this Asahi less and less.
Be that as it may, he has agreed to allow Yotsuyu to remain with us in Doma. Our primary concern now is to hand over the prisoners without incident and bring our people safely home.
There was one other detail at the meeting which caught my attention. I assume you all noticed the rather suspect crates within the castrum. The Imperials were quick to retrieve them afterwards, but I wonder...
Out with it, brother. You fear they might contain bombs or war machines?
If the ambassador wanted me dead, he has had ample opportunity. No, assassination is not his intent, but we should be on our guard for other acts of treachery.
My lord, forgive me, but the Lady Yotsuyu, she's gone.
Again?
Gone?
I beg your pardons, my lords. I was certain she'd fallen asleep.
No, the responsibility is mine. 'Twas I who gave her a room instead of a cell. She may simply have wandered outside. We will organize search parties. Might I call upon your assistance?
Yeah. I wish there was a way to switch the running animations.
Help! Help!
Screaming help. Well, she did. Doubt who had the moment of utter hatred towards him.
Help! Help me!
If only I hadn't remembered. He should hate me. But I will not suffer his kindness. Not after what I did to him.
Who's there?
Oh, it's you. What are you doing out here in the dark?
This is the Enclave, is it? When the soldiers dragged us back to Doma, you were the last person I expected to see.
You're the bane of our existence, Yotsuyu. A font of misery. You couldn't even do us the simple courtesy of dying, could you? Oh, no. You had to live and taint us with the shame of your failure.
Jesus.
We had a perfect life in the capital, and now they're making us wallow in this muddy ruin like common swine. I don't deserve this.
Now, dear, that'll do. There seems little point in berating the girl when she scarcely remembers her own name. Our time would be better spent contemplating how we're to survive this unhappy predicament. You've kept your looks at least. I suspect you'd fetch a handsome price with the right buyer. Maybe enough to get us to Kugani and start a new business.
What the hell is wrong with you? Oh no.
my beloved parents. No sooner do I wake from gentle slumber than the world returns in all its cruelty. Very well. If I cannot escape my nature, then I shall embrace it. To the very depths I have sunk, my soul steeped in spite and rotten to the core. The self-righteous hide behind justice, but I need no such mask. Father, Mother, was it not you who made me into this monster? Who taught me the truth of this miserable world? For years I knew naught but the taste of pain and humiliation. But the time has come to savor my vengeance against Doma. Against all my enemies. And it begins with you!
Yotsuyu! What?
Oh, she's gone crazy. Yeah, that's the look of a serial killer.
Well done, dear sister. Did I not say you would come back to us?
Brother dearest, what a surprise. You always were a cold-blooded little worm. I doubt you thought twice about sending our parents to their deaths.
Your dagger yet drips with their blood, and you presume to judge me? To be frank, I didn't think you had the strength to slay them so cleanly. A single thrust each. I'm impressed. But surely you can't be satisfied with murdering a pair of doddering elders. You yearn for a deeper vengeance, and the power to see it through.
Please. I don't want to die.
Well, not much we can do on that front.
Any sign of her?
No, but her parents are dead.
What happened here?
Yotsu came back, murdered some people because they were about to sell her. I can't believe they didn't learn their lesson the last
I knew
time.
what would happen if she recovered. And still, I did nothing. You say she left with her brother?
Yep.
Whatever he wants with her, he was willing to pay for it with his parents' lives. But this is neither the time nor the place. We must gather the others.
Oh, that coffee's good. That's just how he got away in the end at an unspeakable price. He really is a vile little worm, isn't he? Oh, yeah, I told you he was. Yotsuyu hid her recovery well. I had no inkling that her memory had returned. keep asking myself when it could have happened at the meeting with her parents. Perhaps, but why would she? Nay, this is not to be gained from such conjecture. So here's to his return to the bosom of the Empire after all. Cannot say I am surprised, but what I struggle to fathom is Zed's aim in all this. Well, unfortunately that aim is something we're going to have to learn next time, because unfortunately I got to end the episode. Now, I will say this much. Yugiri probably brings out the most valid point, which is if she regained her memories at the, when she saw her parents, how come she still felt obligated to come here to give Gozetsu that, Persimmon? It's actually kind of a good point. It's like, if she got her memories back at that point, why did she feel bound to do that? And that is a valid question. So it makes you wonder, is she really as crazy as she's coming off? But if you also remember, you've seen how her parents treated her ever since she was a young child. We saw with the one Imperial soldier, she got treated like garbage. Basically, was treated as like a, not even as a child. It was pretty much treated as like a, the easiest way I can describe it is like, imagine a dog, but nobody wants it. So everybody treats it like crap, doesn't feed it, doesn't do anything, but expects it to do, but throws it into some of the worst situations imaginable to just have it do stuff. That's what they treat her. Pretty much equal to that dog or less. So it's really sad to sit there and see that. I think her brother knew that that was going to happen, so he tried to push it as best he could. He wanted Yotsuyu to come back to do something crazy. And that seems to be it. Now the question is, we still got to meet up with Sai and come to the decision of what is going to happen next. So with that, guys, all I have to say is this. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I know this is a bit of an extended episode this time around, but I was having too much fun. So I'll be sure to see you guys next time. Thanks.